Hey, Pat here, Patriarchy. Man, I had to make this real quick. I can't believe it. Gene Wilder died today. I just, I don't know. I had to say something about it. I don't know. It just did freak me out. I love Gene Wilder. He was 83. I mean, I'd been waiting for this death a few years. I guess now I was scared it was gonna happen. When these actors or musicians start to get older, it's just like, oh shit. Um. I have to get my emotions together because this is just so it's hard not to just cry or get really upset. Gene Wilder was an original. He's one of the great comedic actors. He could have been uh, famous and successful in any era, be it the 30s, 40s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and today. He would have been successful no matter what time he lived in, and if he'd been able to perform. Um, Basically, he did things comedically and just strange acting ticks and different types of things that nobody had really done. I think quite the same before or since. I think he's the only actor who could have played Willy Wonka in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I think it's one of those roles that nobody else could have played in that movie that way. And I don't say that about many movies. I think many movies could have had different actors play a certain role. That one specifically, it's like, no, that's so uniquely him. And he's kind of the weird energy, the restrained madness underneath this calm demeanor that he does so well with just a little bit of crazy. He doesn't play all of his cards. Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles in a really restrained performance, which he lets Cleavon Little take over and really shine. And it's he was a comedic actor who gave a lot as much as he performed. He worked on the script for Young Frankenstein wrote it. I mean, he was just so brilliant. I even love a lot of his more underrated films. God, what is it? The Lady in Red, I think, which the Stevie Wonder song I just called to say I love you, I think was from that movie. Um, Got Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor is one of the funniest movies you'll ever see. He's terrific in that movie, actually, directed by Sidney Poitier, the famous actor. God, he made a lot of stuff, but his work, he was on SNL for a little while. He wasn't a cast member, but his wife, Gilda Radner, was on there, and he would host or be on stuff. He's great on there. I mean, pretty much anything with Gene Wilder's insanely brilliant. The producers obviously is probably his most famous role because he got an Oscar nomination for it, and it was, in my opinion, a very groundbreaking performance for modern comedy, and a real key to why that movie was so successful in a lot of ways with Mel Brooks' script. I think those two elements really elevated it to where it's at now. It's really, now it's a famous musical and whatnot. His legend will live on. I don't think he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm not sure, but I think I heard that, which is nuts. Um, it, I don't know. Time sucks. Time goes on, and people die, and you have to accept it. And then the older you get, the older I get, these people that I've loved for so long are passing. Uh, it's hard not to get jaded and cynical and lose your hope in a lot of things because the more people you lose in the world that you find interesting and you know, that make your life a little bit better. The people that really give you something, when they go away, it just feels a little smaller. And Gene Wilder was such a big presence that it feels a lot smaller to me right now today. And we've had so many people die just the last few months. But this is about him. I'm not going to focus on them, but I'm incredibly upset. I love Gene Wilder. Um, I can't think of anything that he ever did that I saw that I didn't really like. And I can't think of much. I don't know. He was just such an original. He was such a unique, distinct presence in this little blue planet, and he really shined bright on his time here. And I feel so bad for anyone who's really close to him because it's just terrible. He's a giant. This is a big deal. One of the biggest ones for me in a while. Big deaths. Um, Completely underrated as an actor. Brilliant performer. Truly a great performer. And one of the greats. So this sucks. I It really does. It's he. So yeah, I mean, I know it's coming probably one of these days. I was gonna hear this, but it just doesn't make it any better. I'll miss him. I miss his work. I was really hoping to see him in some stuff before he passed. I was hoping to see him in some new projects. He's always welcome. And yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be a little hard for a while to watch some of those movies and stuff. A lot of the people have died that were in some of those classic comedies, obviously, but Gene's presence is through so much of the great work of the '70s and '80s that I can't imagine going back and really watching some of these things right now without getting a little emotional. So it's going to be tough because they're supposed to make you laugh, and there is some beauty in laughing and being sad or something. They're very close emotions because when you're emotionally heightened, everything feels so I don't know, everything feels a lot more in unison with yourself. You feel more spiritually connected to things than you would normally when your emotions are heightened. You feel a little bit more like a hyper person, hyper present. He always made me feel hyper present because he seemed hyper present. Without doing much, it seemed effortless, but I'm sure it was something he worked a long time on and really thought out. It was probably very calculated and smart. And I won't fully ever understand his craft, but I guess I'll spend the rest of my life trying to figure it out. Until then, though, uh, you know, just shit, just keep going on. I guess we got to keep going on and trying to uh move on without these people. And I didn't know him personally, but it still sucks. It's really bad. So let's all make sure we remember him. And let's just laugh at his movies, and let's get the fucking star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame if that isn't a thing. Cause what the fuck?